Hello, everybody, and welcome to the TrustSwap Launchpad Interview series with Sugarverse. My name is Brett, and today I'll be your host. Today, I'm joined by Nikolay Mitev, co-founder and CEO of Sugarverse. Nikolay, how you doing today?
I'm fine. I'm fine. I have been flying all day, and now I'm in the hotel.
In the hotel after a long day of flying. That's a common theme we have around here. With all of our founders are super busy traveling everywhere and getting things done.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Before we get started, as a quick reminder, make sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification, and like this video for more Launchpad news, TrustSwap updates, and exclusive content. As well, throughout the video, we're going to be talking about some links, some important call to actions, things down below, social links. So check out the description below for all of those links. Now that we got that out of the way, let's dive on into it. At TrustSwap, we've been excited about this one for a while. We knew this was coming to the TrustSwap Launchpad for a little bit of time. And now we can finally share it with the community. Can you tell us a little bit about Sugarverse? By the way, I really like the name Sugarverse, and as a marketing guy, I really like the branding.
Yeah, thank you, Brett, for being invited to join your podcast, and thank you that you're praising our name. I also think it's super cool. The story behind the name, in short, is that we have a Web2 game that is very popular and has a lot of female users. And we know that there are not so many white games in the space made for female players, but we have a huge traction there. So we wanted to make our next games unisex. So we chose the Sugar team. And by the way, do you know how many female players are out there?
I don't, but I would assume it's a good portion of people that aren't really
40%.
represented in gaming.
Yeah. 40% of all gamers are female players.
40%. That is way higher than I thought. When I said a good percentage, I was like in the middle.
And games built for female are just 5%. So there is a big niche there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing that we started building this name at the beginning was that at the time Metaverse was very hyped, like AI currently is hyped, but things pivoted. So we're now just building games and we're focused on this.
Amazing. So we're building games. That is basically what Sugarverse is. And you found a very identifiable niche, which I think is fantastic. Gaming projects in Web3, are a very polarizing subject for sure. A lot of people either just absolutely love them or, they're kind of iffy on them. Everybody likes video games, though. Let's be real. I spend a lot of time currently on Call of Duty. So can you talk to me about like what Sugarverse, how is it different from the other game projects out there? What are you bringing to the table that everybody else isn't?
I feel your pain that there are a lot of crap games out there and crap projects. But I'm a big crypto enthusiast. I have already backed over 100 crypto projects, from small one to some that have like $1 billion valuation. And many of those were naturally in the GameFi space, as this is where is my knowledge. And of course, there are many fails and there are many problems. And currently, the Web3 games, I see it that way. It's just an emerging market. It's like just from the last bull run, which was 4 years ago. And I think we are very early. So it's like innovation phase. The first 1% of all users are now in the Web3 games. And what's going to happen in the next couple of years, I think it's just starting with the bull run starting, is that we're entering the next phase of adoption, which is early adopters phase. And here, normally the products and the infrastructure and everything, it's like 5 to 10% of the users are coming in this stage that we think is coming now. And of course, this stage to come and more users to come and more good games to emerge, we should have like new ideas. Also, we should fix some of the current problems. And for me, I see three main problems as a player and also as a game developer. And I can mention those. So the first one is the gameplay. So it really sucks. And in terms of engagement and conversion rates, it's not enough. So current Web3 games are far from normal Web2 games because they neglect first how their games look. So for example, we're doing in-house art, and this is very important. Of course, it's slower than normal games, but when you use ready-made assets, it doesn't help your game because you cannot differentiate from other similar games in the Web2 world, and there is a small chance to become like a big game. Also, the backend statistic is very important because I'm not talking here about the on-chain activity, but more about exploring which parts of the game are most interesting for users and where they spend most of their time. So this is something that we are very focused. And with our past Web2 games, we have achieved some of our games to be live for 5-6 years and still have decent tractions because we are looking where people are clicking and what's the most interesting thing, and we're developing exactly this part. So another thing that I see like a very big problem, and I think it should be fixed, and it's easily fixable, by the way, it's the complexity. So for example, many Web3 games are too complex to even start. So I don't know, but maybe you have played such games where it's
I have played such games, and for me, that's just it's such a pain point when you get in there. You're excited, you love the art, you like the company, you like the direction, and then it's just complicated, hard. I don't understand how to do everything. Everything gets way too complicated, and then I just quit.
Now, I'm sure that you have entered an application that it's so complicated, and you have just deleted the application before even looked at one game level, or you never tried the application. Yeah.
Before I even got started, I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
I've seen a lot. Like at TrustSwap, we get to see a lot, and we obviously at work have to stay on top of the trends, looking at what everybody else is doing. And yeah, I've seen that more often than I would like to. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's called a barrier. So currently, majority of Web3 games have multiple steps before playing. So in our gaming world, I see this as a barrier for the users. So every barrier that is added on top of as another level, it's discouraging a lot of users. So you're making your funnel very, very not wide, but very small funnel at the top. And what we're gonna do and what we're doing while developing our first game and the next one is just with one step you start playing the game. So it's like play as a guest and you start playing. You check the level. You're hooked if you like those kind of games. And after that, we're then slowly moving and converting those players once they're hooked. This is like the strategy that we are following with our games. And I think the third and most important problem to all GameFi projects currently is unsustainable reward structure. So what does it mean? It's like a lot of fancy words out there, but nobody understands them. And so, for example, if you have played a single game at the beginning when it's launching and you play it, for example, for 30 minutes and you have earned from these games in any rewards, like they could be NFTs, they could be like tokens, they could be something other. But this item will cost you and you can sell it, for example, for $3. And after that, if you start play those games, and after, for example, 6 months or 1 year, if you still play the 30 minutes that you have played in the beginning, and your rewards are gonna be like not the same. They're gonna be much less. So this is something that nobody is currently fixing. And I personally, I have been invested in some of the big games like Axie and Stepan in the last bull run, and I was too late, and I put thousands of dollars. but because I was too late, like the last wave, I lost a lot of money there, and it wasn't a fun experience. So I think we should think more about the financial part of the GameFi, because we're doing Web3 games, and this is one of the things that is different from the Web2 games, that you own those items and you can after that profit from them. So what we have done here is we are using already established model. It's already proven in another industry. Have you ever played online poker?
Oh, I have dabbled in online poker. I'm a casual online poker player, that's for sure.
Yeah, but have you ever tried spin to win game mode?
Yeah, I've done that before.
Yeah, so once they introduced this model, it was a very hard time for the poker industry. So why was it hard? Because there was a time where on all tables there were sitting very, very good players or bots. And the newbies, the normal regular Joe, when he enters the table, and he was always losing. And there was no incentive for new players to come and play online poker. So there were only the old players that were sitting on the tables. And the industry made this mechanic, which is very fast, three-player poker, one versus one. And they have two very important things. First, it's the matchmaking mechanic, which we're going to use also. And this gives the user a chance, an equal chance, even though they're new to the game or even though they're very experienced and know how to play the game. Because we're matchmaking new players with new players and more experience with more experience. And this was a huge win for the online poker industry. And the second thing that they did very entertaining, and they grow their online poker population, was they were giving before each game a spinning wheel, which gives you the multiplier. And this multiplier in our case is going to be from X2 to X1000. So those three players are playing, but only one player is going to win. So the other two players, they're going to lose their buy-ins. And for example, this buy-in could be just a $1 buy-in. But they have an incentive to play again and again and again, even they're losing like 10 games in a row, because in the 11th game, they could have like this big jackpot of 1,000 multiplier. So this is what we're introducing to the Web3 world. And I feel that it's going to be big.
I got a similar feeling, and not financial advice on that feeling, but all disclaimer on the screen, video guys. No, it's really cool to see the thought put into it. You've outlined three very significant problems that every time you said it to me, I faced those problems and ways to deal with them. And I'm really excited to see where this is going to go, because teams that often think of these things, like a lot of people go out there and just, we're going to make a game and don't think about it. And I love like the niche research you've done, the problem research you've done, all the work into fixing these problems that I get very annoyed by. So I'm very excited to see where this is going to go. On that note, another thing that I'm very interested in is that you mentioned earlier that you already have a history in Web 2 with this same sort of model. Mobile gaming is obviously a lucrative business. And for me, it feels a bit of a better fit for Web 3 than, PC gaming. What's your plan to bring the Web 2 clientele over into Sugarverse?
Yeah, so in my opinion, mobile gaming is the easiest, the cheapest, and the fastest platform to acquire 1 million users, 10 million users, why not 100 million users? And we already have a gaming ecosystem, and we have started back in 2006. We have first developed web-based games. After that, we jumped on the Facebook games because then there was a big mania there. And from, I think, 7 or to 8 years, we are now building only mobile games. And I think mobile gaming is like the best one, as I already said. We have already over 60 million players that have played our Web2 games, and our vision is to convert many of them into our new Web3 gamers. So the plan is to build equally good game for all kinds of players, and after players are hooked, we start teaching them the Web3 way.
I like that. It's game first mentality and pushing people through the funnel. That's what a lot of the free to play games do.
We have many ways to engage our current community, from in-app advertising to email marketing, on-site events, many options there.
Amazing. Well, let's bump it on along to something that's really important to TrustSwap, really important to the community. Tokenomics. It's great. Something that was attractive for me was seeing that your project was starting at a lower FTV, because let's be honest, people care about seeing the value of tokens move. Tell us how your token utility, tell us a little bit about it, and how are you going to drive pressure towards that token?
That's like a huge question, and it depends who you're asking. But as a crypto native and being in the industry for the last 8 years, I personally can't justify like starting at 50, 100 million and more fully diluted valuation when there is no metrics that can buy it. So all of the founders we have in our company, we have other tech companies, and we know valuations are crazy in crypto because the tech companies don't have such valuations. So I think it's bad for the projects, bad for if the valuation is too big at the beginning, because all of them will become an exit liquidity and the project will die. We have seen many of those charts. So what we're looking to do is exactly the opposite, the old style more. We put undervalue fully diluted valuation, and we want to go through this journey together with our early backers. And we feel that it's fair if people are investing early to have like financial motivation and to grow their tokens and their investments. And this happens not because of the market fundamentals or like some short-lived hype, but it will happen organically. And just for a perspective, do you know how much is the fully diluted valuation of a, for example, game project with 1 million users?
Off the top of my head, I do not.
There are some, and it's like hundreds of millions currently. So they're trading at that valuation. Now, I will tell you that with our last Web2 game, we achieved 1 million users in just 3 months.
Wow.
Yeah. And we put a lot of effort in planning, and you can see this in our tokenomics. If you make the fundamentals good, then the growth will come. Also, I remember you asked me about the utility and maybe buy pressure for the token. Of course, this is very important because there's only sell pressure. The project is dead from the beginning. And in terms of the utility, the token is gonna be the main gaming currency needed for the in-app purchase and also for joining those multiplayer modes that I was talking previously. And we have created like our game economy in such a way that once the first game is launched, we create just from the gamers more buying pressure than selling pressure. And this is created because we use like a non-zero game model. And another cool thing for the holders is that the game token will be the main currency in all 5 games that are going to be in the game saga, in the Sugarverse game saga. But just they should wait a little bit to launch all of them. And there is also a second utility of the CNDY token, and it's the governance power. So stakers will have a right to vote on many things. So the most important thing that they're going to vote, because I know that there are a lot of governing tokens, but not all of them are like interesting to buy and their price is too overvalued. But in our case, it's important because those takers are going to decide how our treasury is going to be spent. And I'm talking about all the revenues from the games goes to one treasury. And once a quarter, there will be a vote how much of the money are going to be spent for burning, how much is going to go for future gaming rewards, and how much for company profits. Of course, we must also make some profits there. And finally, a lot of interesting things discussed with our partners Etherlink and Tezos. People should expect even more utilities coming in the close future, but there should be something to talk about next time.
Wow, that's actually really exciting that it's going to happen once a quarter, and it's really going to operate like a decentralized company. I know a lot of people that say that there will be governance and votes, and never really kind of hold that up. But this is the way that a Web3 company was designed to work with these votes. It's really exciting to see.
Yeah, absolutely. So there could be like possibly many other things to vote. For example, partnerships with some big Web2 brands. But it's everything is gonna people are gonna see it in the coming months.
It's exciting, and the TrustSwap community is going to be
Yeah,
some of the first people to be able to get in there and have some of this voting power. Before we move on, everything we are talking about right now is going to be in the video description down below. So you're going to be able to find the link to the blog post, which is arguably the most important thing. It's going to house the tokenomics, the team, the utility, a lot of the information we talked about. So make sure, TrustSwap community, to read that blog post. The second thing that's going to be there are going to be the Sugarverse socials. I wanted to give a nice little plug out here, Nikolay. The number one way you can get involved with these projects is by heading down to the description, liking this video also. Don't forget that. And heading on over to the Sugarverse socials, giving them a follow and making sure to join their chats, join their communities, and ask those questions, because this team wants to hear your questions and this team wants to answer them. And let me tell you, this team can answer those questions. So I'm excited for you to get an opportunity to talk to them. Speaking of our community, this is the section where we get a little deeper and we dive a little bit in. I hope the community has been waiting around. I've gotten some nice private DMs that some people love this section. So the moment we've been waiting for, the alpha round. Can you share a little inside knowledge that maybe isn't public yet, or something behind the scenes that's coming up? Can you share that with the TrustSwap community? Give us that initial alpha for the first time.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that it's hard to follow everything because we have so much information. So maybe some of the things our team has already commented and written, but I will just tell you some more things here. So we're looking to list on multiple exchanges very soon. Also currently opening our beta for SugarMatch, our first game. So people can try the multiplayer and the concept that I was already talking about. We're on a full steam with the whole team, from marketing to development and business development teams. Also, there is a sneak peek about our loyalty program that is just coming out. It's just starting, and you would have an advantage if you join there now. And finally, yes, we're happy to announce we're going to launch our IDO round on TrustSwap with terms that I think many launchpads will envy you guys. I believe your community would like the quality of our work and see good times coming with the recent events in the crypto market for the whole industry.
I couldn't agree more. I think this is an exciting opportunity for the community, and I think it's a very exciting opportunity for TrustSwap as well to get to work with such a good project. How do we get involved, everybody? Well, we know it, but just in case you don't know it, we've prepped a video on how to get involved with the TrustSwap Launchpad. We'll link that somewhere down below, maybe on the screen here. Make sure to get in there, get your stakes, buy your swap, get staked, because at TrustSwap, we give you a guaranteed allocation, not like these lottery launchpads, where you might get an allocation. At TrustSwap, if you're staked, you're getting your allocation. So we're excited about that. That's one big part of our vision. And to do that, well, you're going to have to watch the other video. Or you can check out the blog post below with a detailed overview on how to participate in the Launchpad. And that will be coming up very soon. So make sure to stay tuned to our socials. Stay tuned to the Sugarverse socials to get ready for the upcoming launch and to secure your guaranteed allocation. Nikolay, I know you're a busy guy. I know you're traveling, probably a little tired. So first, from everyone at the TrustSwap team, I really want to thank you for joining us. I've had a wonderful conversation. I thought this was fantastic, and I know the community is going to love it. Before we take off, do you have any final words for the community? Anything you want to send them off with?
Brett, it was an honor to join you and to talk about Sugarverse. We want to make the Web3 gaming industry the new gold mine for the gaming industry. And I know we have the right tools to do it. So thanks again, and have a great time.
Thank you. Well, thank you for joining us today. And as always, the most important people, way more important than either of us, the community. Thanks for watching this week's TrustSwap interview series. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave any comments below if you have any questions, because we would be happy to continue the conversation. If you want to take those conversations to our social channels or internal channels like Telegram, we'd be happy to continue those conversations there too. For those interested in getting involved, all the links will be shared down below. I've said that a few times, but make sure to join the Sugarverse Telegram channel to learn more about upcoming news and the launch. Nikolay, TrustSwap community, thank you so much, and wishing you guys the best. Take care, everybody.
Take care. Bye-bye.